Hello, everyone. This is Vet Talk, and I'm your host, Sergeant Gonzalo Duran. I'd like to thank our executive producer, Jason Murillo, from JM Empire Media and Vero G Productions for making this year one of our best years. Also to our sponsors, this particular one episode is sponsored by Has Hearts. It's a Michigan-based veteran organization that helps put artists and veterans together to make art. This particular piece represents the burn pits in Iraq and Afghanistan. If you're not informed, check out the PACT Act, get some information on that. And if you want to know more about Has Hearts, check out their website as hashearts.us. Now, today's honored guest that we have here, two guests. First is Captain Negro, and second in command, Cindy Bobe, aka Prayer Warrior. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
Captain, please tell us a little bit about the Guardian Angels for the viewers that may not know.
Now, the Guardian Angels is the nation's oldest volunteer safety organization. So we've been in existence for 43 years now. And they were officially launched on February 13th of 1979. Before that, there were 13 original members, and they were called the Magnificent 13. So back in 79, here's this man, Curtis. He starts this organization based on an old idea. It's the oldest probably in the world, where you need to try to take care of your neighbor, of your family, society as a whole. And he took that idea and turned it into something that was probably at the time incredible. You have basically a bunch of blacks, Hispanics mostly, from poor neighborhoods, young, and he turned us into something that none of us thought we'd ever be. And when I first joined in the summer, in May of that same year, I was lost. Like most of my brethren, most of my my partners, we were lost. You know, we came from broken families, and we could have turned either way. We could have crossed that line. When you're young and you have so many obstacles in front of you, where do you turn to? You know, you may want to turn to your family, and if you don't have that support system, where do you go? There's a bunch of gangs out there that'll happily take you. And a lot of us just felt that we just needed to feel wanted, that we needed to feel part of something. And that's what Curtis did. I admire him for that, and I'll always be grateful for that. And so here we are, we're a bunch of young customers who didn't know where can we go to. And he gave us direction, gave us rules to follow by, and I think that we've done pretty good, you know, considering. And in the beginning, we had a lot of foes. You had the usual gangs who penetrated the subway systems. We had the police officers who didn't know us. Maybe they thought we were a threat. Maybe they thought that we weren't trained enough. And then you have the public that we're there to try to protect. And they were wary. And they should have been, because there were so many gangs out there with so many different colors. And here we are, probably just another gang, but this time they're wearing red berets. So it took time for us to get their allegiance, to get their confidence. And of course, at the time, the mayor at the time, he wasn't a friend of ours, Mayor Koch. And so it made it difficult. So we had our run-ins with the police. I've been thrown out of many train stations and trains. And it's just all about not knowing who we are and how we were there to help supplement their force. The day that Curtis made me a patrol leader, I was scared, because I had an awesome responsibility now. What I have is a bunch of kids my age, and they're looking up to me. I'm their leader, so I'm sure that it was hard for them also. He taught me what it is to be a leader. There was one time when I called him up. after about 2 years. And I said, listen, I'm tired of these guys leaving my patrol. You know, I had a couple of people who left the patrols, they started their own, and I was tired of it. I felt insulted. And Curtis sat me down and said, listen, they are actually honoring you. Actually, this is a compliment to you, because that's part of being a leader, and that's actually part of being a parent, where you train them and you have confidence in them and you bring confidence out of them, and they go out on their own, they branch out on their own. And that's what I'm hoping that this happens with Cindy. She is quite the leader. She has a magnificent personality. So if you ask me, what's my greatest triumph is teaching those to lead, to be productive parts of this society. And I'm hoping that that flows through Cindy at some point.
Now, before we get to Cindy, I want to ask one question directly. For the viewers that may not know, what does the Guardian Angels specifically do, like the programs?
We are a safety organization where we patrol the subways and the streets, the parks, and we get involved. If there's a crime being committed, we will step in and use our powers of citizens arrest that anyone can do. But we're in a group, and we're trained, and so we will stop a crime from being committed. Also, just our presence is important. If a potential mugger wants to start some trouble, he's going to see us. He's going to know there's going to be more than one of these people here. That would prevent them from starting any trouble. So sort of like a police officer, you see that uniform, you see that gun, and you're not going to do anything ridiculous. Mm-hmm. We do not carry weapons. Our weapons are our minds, our weapons are our strength, our weapons are our maturity. And that's another thing that was stressed through the training, especially from Curtis.
Now, that information that you said, that you're in the mind, your strength, and the people that you're looking for, you have a prime example here today. Cindy, would you share how you became a member?
Yeah, well, I've looked up to the Guardian Angels since I was, I believe, 11. I lived in Hell's Kitchen with some family members, and I used to see the Guardian Angels. I think it was 47 and 10th, right in, there was a park. There used to be, drug addicts and everything like that, and the Angels used to go there and just clear them out so we could go and play at the park and see them in the trains. And so I grew up loving the Angels. And when I saw Captain Negro and his partner Rocky, and they're with these flyers, and I was about to go to the beach, and they're like, hey, we're recruiting. And I'm like, what? And I was like so excited, and I was like, yes, when? And it was like next week, I believe it was, and he couldn't believe it. He's like, we're gonna see. And I was like, no, I'm there. Like, I love the Angels so much. And I'm a woman of my word, not only, with the Angels, but in life, period. If I say I'm gonna do something, I do it, unless I can't. But, I'm a woman of my word. So it's been such an amazing experience, to be with the captain. We're family, and
sure we are.
He was so amazing in teaching us, and very, firm, but soft at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I think it was like 2 months in, I was like, yo, Cap, like, I'm ready. Like, when you're not available, I'm ready to take over.
And that's 2 months. Only
yeah,
2
in
months.
2 months. And because I truly loved it. And he was like, we'll see. And I think it was like on the 3rd month, I was like, yo, let's do this. And he's, you ready? And then there was another, guy that joined us. And then, he was like under me, and I take care of him. I still take care of him. So it's like, captain, and then I'm second in command. And then now I got this one. And I know he has grown so much, the other kid that's with us, in a year. So I'm like very excited to be in this journey, you know, with the Guardian Angels and patrolling. We go on patrol with other chapters and do like different events. And meeting Curtis, that was huge as well because, you know, like I said, since I was little. And it's important to me, you know, like what we do. I love to do volunteer work. This volunteer work, it's some serious stuff because we're putting our lives in danger. And I think about it, you know, I have my children, so it's like I'm out there putting my life in danger while I have kids. But I trust the Lord to, you know, protect me. And, you know, my nickname is Prayer Warrior. And, you know, he gave it to me because I've always like, I pray. And that's what I do. Before we start, I pray over us and all of the angels. And as I'm out there, I'm praying. And if I see somebody arguing or whatever, I'm praying. So, yeah, Prayer Warrior here.
Oh, that's beautiful. Captain, would you go over the specific requirements for someone to become a guardian angel?
First and foremost, we're looking for maturity. You know, we're not looking for hotheads. We're not looking to pick fights with anyone. It's important that you know how to deal with the public. It's important that you know how to deal with people. If we get into a situation, we need to learn how to de-escalate using positive words, positive reinforcement. Cindy said something very interesting, family. And, you know, back in the day, many of us were lost. And what are we looking for? We're looking for acceptance. The guardian angels made us one big family. And I can never forget, and I can never thank Curtis and all the individual angels that I've come across for giving me such a great experience. You know?
So besides being level-headed, is there an age requirement?
16 and would be the age requirement there. And you don't need to have any formal self-defense. We can provide that for you. And just being able to follow the instructions of your patrol leader or your second in command, that's very important. Because you're going to run into situations that you're not familiar with, that you may not know how to handle. And so you got to look to us, and we can show you and make sure, because it's important that everyone goes home safe. That's the most important thing to me, that everyone goes home safely to their loved ones.
Well, I mean, in that aspect, if you're level-headed, over the age 16 or above, and your willingness to help out the community, I mean, that seems reasonable right there.
Definitely.
And if they don't have the backgrounds that they think they need, you guys will train them as well.
We will provide that for them.
Yeah.
Beautiful,
Yes.
perfect.
Yes.
Just want like respectful people. Like we got to work together. You know, you can't go there and be like, oh, you know, I'm on this by myself. No, we're a team. We're looking out for each other. So we have our little, you know, signs or whatever for emergencies, for this, for that. So it's a learning process, you know, and but it's a
Our
great thing.
main function is to act as a deterrent to crime, as I mentioned previously, just having the uniform. So we're hoping, there's just no way that we can calculate how many crimes we may have prevented just by being there. There's no way.
And one way you do that is by your uniform. Cindy, would you go over the uniform? You have the beret,
Yeah.
and you have the jacket, and you have the sweatshirt.
Yep, and we have T-shirts as well. They say the Guardian Angel, Safety Patrol, and yeah, I love it.
Now, with the hats, I see there's things attached to it. Is that like common, or is that a
Yeah,
specific?
so the thing is, you know, we give each other, you know, the buttons and stuff. So most of these are from my captain, and then one of the other angels gave me a few, and it's stuff that I love. Like a lot of these, we just got them on one of our patrol when we were working, and there was a table, they were selling them. And I was like, Captain, you know, I want the peace and I want the love, because I want people to read, you know, since I can tag up this, you know, with love.
You can personalize your red beret, but just make sure that there aren't any symbols that are racist. But yeah, like I love the New York Mets, so I have a Met pin. So yeah,
Still Mets.
it's okay, and it also shows your personality,
Mm-hmm.
you know, who you are. So I think that showing pride in what you're wearing is very important. Showing pride in general in life. You're walking down the street and with your head up high, okay? You want to show the people that, hey, I'm here, I should be respected, and that's important as an angel, that you're walking confident that your people will back you up. And I'm very, very confident whomever I'm patrolling with, that they got my back. And this is dangerous. This isn't the Boy Scouts, and I love the Boy Scouts. They teach you great things. But we've lost 5 members throughout the tenure of the Angels. And at any point in a patrol, one of us can get hurt, maybe seriously. So we're looking for volunteers. So we're hoping that we come out of the Brooklyn patrol at Broadway Junction. And so we're looking for volunteers. We meet at 11:30 on Saturdays, every Saturday. But there are other patrols. We have patrols all over the city. Internationally, there are 5,000 guardian angels. We're in Japan. We're in Italy. We're in Dominican Republic. And we're in over 20 states in the United States. So we're growing, you know, and we really need volunteers. And we specifically ask for 3 to 4 hours every Saturday, you know, twice a month. We know that there are people working. We know there are people that have other responsibilities. So we try not to interfere. And it is the greatest feeling when someone comes up to you and they say thank you. You know, thank you for being here. Thank you for what you do. It feels like $1 million.
Now, when you guys are doing your meetups on Saturdays, and I'm sorry, what was the time again?
11:30.
11:30. What are you doing once you do the meetups? Like,
We talk about where we're going. We talk about the trains that we're going to be taking, and we go over the regular rules, and which are we make sure that no one is wearing any weapons. That's important. Sometimes you forget. You know, sometimes you're carrying around something and you didn't realize it. So we put that aside. And so we meet, we go over what our action item is for that time. Sometimes we'll take the trains for the rest of the day. Sometimes we'll split it between the subways and the streets, sometimes the parks. Wherever we feel that we're needed at that time. Now, again, we have other patrols in Manhattan. We have other patrols in Brooklyn, and the Bronx, and Queens, and Staten Island. So we like to go where we're needed and where we're welcome.
now, if somebody wants to join and participate, how would they reach not only the Brooklyn but also the?
Yeah, please reach me at 848-203-2758. That's my cell number, my personal cell number. If you're in Staten Island, I can send you to a Staten Island patrol. If you're in the Bronx, I'll get you in touch with the many patrols there. So 848-203-2758. And please, we can always use help. We're at guardianangels.org. And if you'd like to donate, this is a strictly volunteer organization. We can use it.
And it's a nonprofit, correct?
It is a nonprofit. It is tax deductible. Yes.
Okay. Now, the way you were talking earlier, and a lot of work you're doing, and the uniform itself you have, I can see a lot of veterans that would want to participate as well. And I'm assuming that you have members that are veterans.
Yeah, we've had members that are veterans. Correct. When you volunteer as you have for the service, there's a reason for that. And you're usually motivated by your love of helping your fellow man or woman. And it shouldn't stop when you leave the service. So there are other venues. There are the options that you have. And I hope that they can choose the Guardian Angels as one of them.
Yeah, a lot of veterans, when they come out, they have, the well-known American Legion, and then we have nonprofits organizations, and right here, this is a perfect example. Devil Dog USA, the sponsors for the show, Vet Talk, they do a lot of programs with the community. One is big on safety, and right here, this is a perfect example of how you can get involved. Then there's self-defense classes, stuff like that. Once again, a service to the community, helping us. It's a beautiful thing, and I know for sure that I feel safer knowing that there's individuals out there doing what you guys are doing.
It's very nice of you to say so.
Thank you. Yeah.
Now,
Appreciate it.
in your tenure, I'd love to hear maybe some highlights of what you've seen or gone through.
Well, the biggest highlight that I love to brag about is meeting and taking a picture with Diana Ross for Ebony Magazine, 1980, September. But just about every patrol that I've ever patrolled with, just about every member that where we've become friends, that's my biggest joy. That's always been my highlights. Yes, there are times when you're wondering, why am I doing this? I'm sacrificing my time. It's late at night. I'm hungry. I need to go to the bathroom. Why am I doing this? And it's nice that someone is next to me to remind me why we're doing this. And I love my brothers and sisters in the Angels, and we can use some more.
Cindy, do you have now that you've taken a leadership role, or you want to talk about your time in training, anything that's a highlight for you?
Well, one of the things that happened that I remember, I was in this cart by myself, and there was a young man sitting down, and he was crying a bit. And me, and this is not the first time, I've done it plenty of times, I go up to them and I'm like, you okay? And can I pray for you? And we hold their hands, we're praying, and he's just like, comes and he hugs me. He's like, thank you so much. And everybody else is like, yeah. And I was just like, okay, So being a prayer warrior, to me, that is very big. And a lot of times I've seen people like the ones that are having trouble mentally, and I will be praying and I'm like, let him calm down. And he will calm down, and I'm just like, So, yeah. Thankfully, I have some memory loss, so I'm trying to think.
Well, that's fine.
I don't think there's been any big stuff while we've been working.
There really hasn't. Thankfully, we.
It's because I'm praying all the time.
Yeah, that's why. That's exactly why. So by the end of the patrol, if we've had a boring patrol, I think we did our job.
That's beautiful.
We never have a boring patrol.
And if you don't mind me sharing something very quick,
Yes.
I've been fortunate to stand in on a patrol with you guys, and I remember there was a woman that saw you and just started talking and then sharing her stories of seeing how you guys have done and thanking you. That right there just speaks volumes in itself.
It sure does. It sure
Yeah.
does.
Well, with that being said, would you give out the information on how to reach you one more time?
Sure. GuardianAngels.org. You can donate there. And if you'd like to volunteer, please call me at 848-203-2758. And again, if you're not a Brooklyn resident, I can always refer you to the outer boroughs.
Now, for individuals or organizations that would like to be on the show, please feel free to reach out to me at CEO@DevilDogUSAInc.org. And as always, God bless America.
Yes.